Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live video. I feel like it's been forever. It kind of has. I missed my live video or my video for my members on Thursday, but I gave you guys a blog entry, which was pretty cool too. And then I missed this past Monday. It was a holiday, but also I just was feeling off all week, and it was really weird. All week I had a sore throat, then I had this crazy rash on my face, and then when I post about it, and I'm super vulnerable, a lot of you come back to me and say that you've been experiencing the same things. I've also been waking up way earlier than normal. Like typically I wake up maybe around 9:30, sometimes 10 if I've got an open morning. But this past week I've been waking up at like 7 a.m. just wired. I don't know about you guys, but some weird ascension symptoms. Weird ascension symptoms for sure. Very vivid dreams as well I've been having, but what else is new? Couple things that I want to get started before we dive into the content today. Thank you so much, Dee, for that beautiful super chat. You guys don't need to super chat. You know, just being here is plenty, is more than enough. And of course, hi to all of my members. I always love chatting to you guys right before this video. And then I forget that I'm chatting and I'm like, oh, I should probably start the live. Okay, so what aren't we talking about today? We're talking about Gen Z, we're talking about the children, a little update on them. I was actually having dreams about them all last night. We're going to be talking about the New World Order. We're going to be talking about global events. We're going to be talking about the Merkaba. We're going to be talking about a lot of other things. So yeah, we're gonna try and get to everything today. And thank you, members, for submitting your incredible questions. And thank you, everyone, members, for upvoting the questions that you wanted to hear, because every week you just astound me with more and more stuff. So first thing I want to mention is there's some weird stuff going on. What else is new? I think it's very weird, all the fires that are happening in California, just like I thought it was very weird, all the fires happening in Australia. I don't have an opinion on it. I don't have a download for you on it. What I'm going to tell you is there is a video that I posted in the description section below this video. It's a 30-second video. And it's just a heat signature from a very odd laser beam that has been picked up by this technology. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to mention that it's directed energy weapons. I'm not going to mention that at all. But check it out, okay? Don't check it out now because you're watching this, but after this video, check out that video. I think it's very odd, very interesting. All I want you guys to do is question, not saying that anything is anything. I'm just saying open your minds and, you know, think for yourself. Second thing I want to mention is the Galactic Federation event that I had on Friday. It was so freaking amazing. It's always so lovely to connect to the Galactic Federation. We connected to an Arcturian being, we connected to a Lyran, we connected to an angelic being, and then of course we connected to the cutest, even though he hates being called cute, the cutest little half-gray, half-human hybrid boy named Timothy, and he's awesome. So if you guys want to check out that really just mind-blowing webinar and that event, I actually want to call it the Galactic Federation Summit, because it brings all of the members together. So if you want to check that out, oh, and we also heard from Suri as well, the Suri beings. Yeah, so if you want to check that out, it's just $11. So the link for the Galactic Federation event recording is also below in the description. These recordings will only be available 1 month at a time, okay? So once you purchase the recording, you can watch it as many times over as your heart desires, okay? Other than shutting down Google Drive, which was a little bit of a glitch yesterday, we're back to normal today. Okay, and then also big downloads. I have huge downloads for all of you tomorrow. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know what to call tomorrow's video. It's kind of the essence of being human. But I mean, that's not a very grabbing sort of title. So yeah, I'm still figuring out what the name is going to be. Maybe it's just activations. but I had this huge download yesterday. I was typing a bunch of notes on it. I'm very excited to bring all of that information to you tomorrow. And I'm hoping that it brings together the fractals of your energy and vibration so that you can exist as a whole individual. And that's what 5D is about. It's not about existing as the fractal of your past lifetimes or the fractal of the trauma of the relationship 3 years ago. It's about existing as a whole individual. And that's what my goal is for all of you, to get all of you into this energy of transcendence so that we can move into 5D together. What up? Okay. Okay, and then also I just want to let all of you know, I know there were some like conspiracies going on about the light that's behind me, but as you can see, it's actually the light from the window. So I just wanted to let all of you know that it's not mystery solved. It's not an interdimensional being, although it could have been. It's actually just the light coming in from the window. And then, oh yeah, one more thing before we dive into these questions is I'm going to be very vulnerable with all of you and say that moving forward, not moving forward, but on Friday, I have a meeting with a dermatologist, and I'm getting something called laser resurfacing, which basically means it peels off like a layer of your skin kind of thing. So I know that most of you maybe don't know this, but I've had major issues with my skin my entire life. And it's always been a concern for me. Will I be able to cover this up? Am I going to break out tomorrow? I'm 28. I feel like a freaking 14-year-old half the time because my freaking skin and my face is breaking out so much. So it's expensive, but I decided to put some of that back into my body and really take care of myself in that way. So I'm a little bit nervous for the procedure, but I'm excited to finally get this taken care of. This right here. But I also want to let you know that I will not be able to wear makeup for the first 4 to 5 weeks of after the procedure. And it'll look like my skin is sunburnt, like really badly sunburnt. So I'm just going to be vulnerable. I can't just take off 5 weeks of videos. So I just want to let you all know and warn you. Either the consultation or the procedure is being done on Friday, this Friday coming up. So just be aware, just fair warning of this, right? Typically it's easy to cover that stuff up with makeup, but I won't be able to. So yeah, my human coming at you real hard in the next week or so. All right, and that's it. That's all my updates. Let's get into the first question here. Gracia Borbola, hopefully I'm saying that right. Hi, for all of those of us who are teachers, how can we reach teenagers? What is going on with Generation Z? How can we help them so that they're not trapped in depression? For teens mostly, what can we do with our own children? Talking to them is not enough anymore. Any higher info on this and beyond? Any higher info on this would be great. Okay. So a lot of Gen Z right now, they are born into this generation where a lot of them are star seeds, a lot of them are cosmic beings, and a lot of them are, they're here for a reason. They're here for a mission. And so they're like, okay, guns a-blazing, I'm here for a mission, and yet they're still being faced with the 3D world. It's like they incarnated into this generation expecting people to be open, expecting their mission to go off flawlessly. And once again, they're presented with this very low vibrational frequency of this world. So it creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of depression. I highly recommend for these kids spirituality. The reason why they're so freaking depressed is because their family and society is giving them everything that they could ever possibly need and want, right? And maybe not now with the quarantine and a lot of jobs lost, but, and then they're depressed because they're like, is this really it? This isn't what I'm looking for. This isn't what I want. So handing them a book that Eckhart Tolle wrote, or handing them a book on Alan Watts, okay? These are brilliant minds that need to be shared. Even showing them my videos. I know that there's some parents out there who actually watch my videos with their teenagers. Their teenagers showed them my videos and c'est la vie. But Gen Z is a very difficult generation to be in. They're here to change the frickin' world, and yet the world is not yet ready to be changed. And you need to let your child know that there is going to be a place for them, but that they're on hold for right now. So giving them anything that's going to stimulate their deeper vibrational frequencies. Maybe you introduce them to symmetrics, I don't know what it's called, like sound frequency, so binaural beats. Maybe it's energy healing, maybe it's crystals, so injecting them with something more than this physical world is going to be very profound for Gen Z. And then of course, like getting them the help that they need. And I've mentioned it before. I think a lot of you watched that video with me and my friend Charlotte, but she's really good dealing with teenagers and young people dealing with anxiety and depression and what have you. Okay. So just be aware that the resources are out there for your children and they just need that extra pick me up. But spirituality is going to be the key. Okay, good. Okay, so next question, Maria. Hi, EA. If everything, past, present, and future, is all happening at this now moment, then how can we be influenced by our past lifetimes that are also happening in this now moment? What is it that's connecting our now moment to the moment of our past lives and also happening now that is exerting influence on the next now moment? Okay, I get it. So how are we in this present moment being affected by our past lifetimes? Think about it this way. If you went through abuse when you were a kid, right? Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your teachers, maybe it's your friends and bullying, whatever. If you went through that kind of abuse in childhood, then right now in this present moment, you're going to be acting out of a place of trauma. So you're going to have your walls up, your energy is going to be guarded, you're going to be closed off, you're going to have issues with trust, right? All of the things. And so it's the same thing with past lifetimes. What we don't realize is that if you were killed in a past lifetime, you're going to have this strange fear of dying early in this lifetime and moving on and on and on. In order to clear traumas of the past, we need to look at them. And that's what tomorrow is all about. And maybe I should call it clearing traumas. Yeah, maybe I should call it that because that's what it's about. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about who we are in this present moment based on all of the experiences that we've had, mind, body, soul, coming into this present, which also accumulates a ton of trauma, right? So I'm going to be talking about all of that tomorrow and how to clear those traumas. So stay tuned tomorrow if you want to know why you feel traumatized in every moment and how to clear that trauma. I'm going to be talking about past lifetimes. I'm going to be talking about ancestral trauma, and I'm going to be talking about your cosmic connections and how that influences you. Okay? But really good question, Maria. Okay, so we've got two good questions here from Yonder House, and a lot of you guys upvoted this question, so thank you for that. Question number 1, what do you find to be the biggest self-imposed blocks or hurdles when it comes to opening up to your psychic gifts? Any tips to move past them? Okay, and then the second question is actually kind of similar, so I'm going to actually mention it as well. Is there a tip to heal from old traumas of fear from childhood resulting in experiences with beings at night? I'm remembering things that I may not have understood as a child and still don't, but I'm blocking myself from communicating with my guides and other beings because of this fear block. Great question. So basically what they're saying is, because of interdimensional experiences in the past, because of childhood experiences, you now feel very frightened and very scared, and you're blocking yourself from fully opening up because of that. And that is actually very common. So your first question is, what is one of the biggest psychic blocks? The two that I tend to find is having a psychic or paranormal or cosmic experience when you're unaware of it. Unaware of, the greater spiritual truth behind it, and you get very frightened, and then you close yourself off for safety and protection after that. Makes sense. That's actually what a lot of psychic attacks will do. They will create a trauma in your experience and in your field so that you're scared to open up. So that's one. So basically traumas from this lifetime, experiencing the paranormal, and, feeling powerless within those experiences. Therefore, you don't feel powerful in having those experiences moving forward. Hopefully that makes sense. The second biggest trauma and block with psychic abilities that I tend to find through my experience and my channeling of other people is past lifetimes, hands down. There's a video that I have that's a huge block remover on this, and the video is called Have You Been Burned Before? It's quite powerful. I actually believe that it's part of my masterclass program, Have You Been Burned Before It Is. And it's basically a video where I talk about all of these past lifetimes and being persecuted and being suppressed and being traumatized in past lifetimes, and essentially being burned at the stake for being a psychic, for having these psychic abilities. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. Once again, in a way, we need to be able to see where the trauma is coming from, because what tends to happen is, if you don't trust, here, let me give you a good example, a very clear example. If you're dating someone, male, female, doesn't matter. If you're dating someone and you have trust issues in general, but this person really triggers your trust issues and you're like, you know what? I really like them, but I don't trust them. And I don't know why I don't trust them, so it must be my intuition. I must not be able to be with this person because there's something in them that I don't trust. And because I don't trust that, then I'm not going to follow through and, feel this out, right? So our mind, if we don't see the full picture, our mind associates those feelings and those vibrations to that just must be the truth in this moment because I don't know where that's coming from. Our mind creates a solution. It creates a picture that makes more sense than just not knowing. Our mind, our human, has such a difficult time not knowing things that we make up a story to fit the pieces together, to feel more content about our reactions and actions in the present moment, to justify our actions and reactions in the present moment, so that therefore we don't have to know because we're convincing ourselves that we already know. That is the essence of ignorance. And that's okay that we do that. It's a very natural survivalistic tendency that human beings have. You can't blame yourself for making up stories just to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's natural. That's okay. However, if you don't ask the right questions, why don't I trust? Instead of assuming that the reason why you don't trust this person that you're dating is because they're untrustworthy, you let go of that assumption and you actually ask the deeper questions. You critically assess your reactions. And this is probably all content that I should be putting in for tomorrow, but it's really important, right? Why don't I trust this person? Oh, I've been cheated on before. Why don't I trust to open up to my psychic abilities? Oh, I've been persecuted before. When you ask the questions, and only when you ask the questions, does the information come to light. Okay? That's why asking questions is so crucial. Maybe you don't hear the answer. Maybe you don't hear the response right away. But you've now planted a seed to bring and access that answer and that truth into your reality in one way or another. Okay? So the two things that are going to block us the most from our psychic gifts, traumas in this lifetime related to the paranormal, and past lifetimes where we've been persecuted before. If we're not asking the right questions, then we are re-traumatizing ourselves in every moment. Nope, it's not safe. Nope, it's not safe. Nope, it's not safe. Over and over and over again. Then you create the programming that you aren't safe opening yourself up. Does that make sense? Awesome. And we're going to deep dive into this all tomorrow. I'm very excited about helping you all understand these blocks, and then and I'm just getting chills, through that understanding, clearing that. And that's what I tell all my clients, or the clients that I did have, because I'm ending that in a really good way though, because it's freeing me up for my book. So I'm very excited. But I always tell my clients, just by talking about this past lifetime, we're instantly clearing it, because you're seeing a reflection of yourself. And you're understanding why you behave this way in this present moment based on who you were in the past. Therefore, you are actually collapsing those timelines and you're updating yourself to the present moment. It's profound. So simple, but so profound. Knowledge will set you free. You just have to be open to the knowledge. Okay, cool. All right, Monica. About the New World Order, I have a close friend who's at a very similar level to you, and she said so far exactly the same things with everything as you have. Awesome, good validation. All right. With the New World Order, she said that they definitely won't succeed, but she's not seeing Trump in the White House after the election. My question is, how can the light win at the end if the dark side would be in a position of power? Okay, I'm not into politics at all, but I think that this time is different. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is really important, guys. So what if Trump doesn't get elected? What if the powers that be, I don't know, interfere? What if that's what the Galactic Federation has been saying this whole time? That what needs to happen is that he doesn't get elected, right? What if? Here's what I'm going to say to all of you. It's not about Trump, guys. If you still think that it's about Trump or not about Trump, then you are not seeing the whole picture. You are continuing to polarize yourself in the third dimension density if you're only looking at the man on the front line. What you really need to look at is who's behind Trump. And that is something that you won't be able to see. None of us have any idea who is behind Trump or Biden. None of us have any idea. Well, I have a little bit of an idea, right? But there's a lot of people that are backing, not even backing politics, not even backing the man himself. There's a lot of people and beings, let's call them, on the back end of things that are in this all-out war. The man who's president has nothing to do with the unfolding of the awakening. Everything and nothing, let's call it, okay? Trump's main mission on this planet was to rattle the norm, was to shake things up, was to force people to question. Has he done that? Yes, he has. He's rattled the cages. He's shaken people up. That's fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for freaking volunteering to do that. That's incredible, right? Are we able to rattle the cages now with our own conscious mind without him? Yeah, we are. Do we need him? No, we don't. Did we need him? I would say yes. We needed someone to come in to shake things up, okay? It's not about Trump. It's about holding the vibrational frequency of the end outcome and allowing whoever needs to be in that position to be in that position. They are pawns. If you think that the president has any power whatsoever, then you're fooling yourself, all right? I studied global politics in university, and I knew back then that the president held no power whatsoever, right? Then you get into conspiracies and the Illuminati and the New World Order and, what's going on behind the scenes. Still polarizing, still fourth dimension density. You're still going to get wrapped up in what is the truth and what's going on and what's happening and what kind of, things are they pulling over on us now. It's not about any of that either. It's not about the conspiracies. It's not about Q, right? It is, but it isn't. These are all pieces of the puzzle. If you stop at Trump is the answer or Trump isn't the answer, then you're really limiting yourself from the truth that is out there. Okay? If you stop yourself at conspiracies and Q and what is the truth and what is not the truth and the New World Order and the Illuminati and the reptilian shapeshifters, if you stop there, then you're really limiting yourself from the truth, the real information, the real deal stuff that's out there waiting for you. Likewise, I'm going to take it one step further. If you stop at interdimensionals and the Galactic Federation and aliens, and that's it, that's the thing, that's what I've been looking for, that's the answer, you're limiting yourself from the truth that is out there. The only thing that exists in the universe is vibrational frequency and atoms. That's it, guys. We break it all down. The ultimate of the ultimate is, okay, we're particle beings experiencing a limited reality in the grand scheme of the entire universe. Don't limit yourself. That's why I have such an issue being called the alien girl. Because I'm like, it doesn't stop at aliens. I love that you guys are into aliens, but I am just holding back on so much information that humanity isn't quite ready for yet. So let's tackle the alien thing, but maybe in 5 years, I'm like this epic quantum physicist who's really talking about the fundamental aspects of this reality. Maybe in 5 years from now, I'm freaking sticking my hand through the wall, right? That's where I want to be at. It doesn't stop at aliens. It doesn't stop at Trump. It doesn't stop at Q. It doesn't stop at the election. These are all pieces of the puzzle. Don't get wrapped up in the pieces or you're missing the bigger picture. Anytime you hold reaction to polarity, you're feeding the polarity. And I'm going to repeat that because it's so important. Anytime you hold reaction to polarity, whether it be, I love Trump so much, he's the savior, or I hate that guy, he's a buffoon, okay? You're feeding the polarity. You're feeding the paradigm. We don't need feeders. We need fucking leaders. So what are you going to be? Are you going to be a feeder? Are you going to be a leader? That choice is up to you. What you focus on, your precious, free will, conscious energy, creates and co-creates this reality. So what do you choose to focus on? What reality do you want to create? I don't want to create a polarizing reality. I want to create a unity reality where there are no sides. So guys, stop choosing a side. Stop it. It's not about a side. Look from the higher perspective. And there's an even higher perspective than the Galactic Federation. They are just one piece of this greater puzzle. We need to go beyond all levels of density in order to understand the truth. That felt really good. That felt really good. I feel like I wanted to say that for a while because my whole body is just reacting right now. Oh, so good. Okay. Thank you guys for holding space. As always, take it or leave it. It's not the ultimate truth. It's just a perspective. All right. Let's move on. Elise. Oh yeah, can we get an update on the children? I find myself wondering how they're going to handle the trauma of what happened once they're free. Is there a plan for this? Also, is there a chance any of them will be reunited with their parents? Okay, great question. I was reading over these questions last night and I actually had dreams about the children all night. It was very fascinating, very, very, very deep. I'm very excited about what I could potentially do for the children in my career moving forward. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Once again, it's just so incredible. Thank you for that super chat. It's really beautiful, guys. Okay, so there is a very slim chance that the children will ever be reunited with their parents. Will they have ability to adopt these children? Absolutely. Will there be a support system for these children? Youth workers, counselors, support system? Absolutely, there will be. And it's funny because right even when I read this question last night, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And what came through is there are going to be so many support workers for these children that I don't want to say whistleblowers, right? We get whistleblowers in a society, in an organization, in a system that is corrupt. The whistleblowers are the people who are blowing the whistle against corruption. There will not be, and right now there haven't been as many whistleblowers with the children, and the reason why is because this isn't corrupt, this is anti-corruption. So if the message is, guys, we need to hold tight on speaking about this for a while for the greater good of humanity, then they're going to hold tight on speaking about this. But what came to me last night was that at a certain point in time, and I want to say especially over the next 3 years, chills, there's going to be a time when these people who have been working with the children, rehabilitating them, getting them out of the tunnels, freeing them from that pedophilia ring, there's going to be a time when they're going to be allowed to speak about this, and it's going to be profound, and it's going to be shocking, and the rest of the world is going to wake up to this, and there's going to be people throwing up because of, understanding this truth. That information, I believe, will only actually publicly, globally be disclosed once they've gotten them all out. Okay? We don't want chaos and rioting and a reaction from humanity if we haven't completed the mission yet. Does that make sense? Okay. So what's the update on the children? Okay, so before I get to the update, and I'm just going to channel it because I haven't checked into this in a little while, but I'll just see what the GFL or anyone else wants to say about this, or I'll just astral travel around and check out where we're at in the progress. But I do want to say that the dreams that I was having last night are, thank you, Sherry, for that. The dreams that I was having last night were all about me creating some sort of foundation. Now, you may react to this, okay? I'm just going to plant the seed here to say, this is definitely I would love to be a philanthropist in my later days. I would love to be a humanitarian. I would love to create organizations. I was even having dreams last night of creating a school for children on my own property and then disseminating that school out to the rest of the world. There's so many things I want to do. Do you realize now why I can't take one-on-one sessions anymore? I have so many things that I can do for humanity as a whole. So one of the things was actually I saw a rehabilitation program for pedophiles because there just isn't one. There just isn't one, And I don't know if there's a negative reaction from you guys or a negative perception on why focus on the pedophiles, why not focus on the children? But I saw two sides to what I could potentially do, is do a rehabilitation for people who have offended, people who have never offended, people who have thought of offending, and giving them love and support. All they need is someone to listen to, right? And I actually saw, what was it? Yeah, it was really cool. It was a website that I guess my wife built it's like a pedophilia network, a website, but a community, a helpful, spiritual, enlightened, high vibrational community where they can all say, hey, kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? I mean, come on, we've got these communities and support system for all these other people who are doing all these other things that they feel they don't have control of, right? So I felt like I could build that, and it's not going to be anytime soon, but we need that. And then at the same time, having this rehabilitation center, which would be more of a physical thing for the children, and hopefully in 10 years from now or 20 years from now, when I do start this up, hopefully there will be less and less and less of these cases. Hopefully when I deal with these children, they were the children in the tunnels that are now adults rather than children that are currently getting offended, right? We can't just put a Band-Aid on the wound and say, let's deal with the children who have already been hurt. Let's go to the freaking source, which are all these men, mostly, out there who are hurting, who are in pain, who were abused and traumatized themselves, who have contracts in this lifetime. We need to help them, the source of the problem. And then we can stop this for good, right? So anyway, so that's what I was dreaming of all last night, and I'm like, wow, the possibilities are endless, and I feel like I could make a huge change in society based on that, you know. And anyway, I'm digressing. Okay, let's go back to the children update right now. Let's just see where we're at. And likewise, let's see where the actual pedophilia rings are as well, as far as are they getting shut down? What's happening with them? You know, okay, 1 second. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So many children all over the world are continuing to be pulled out, rehabilitated. Like I mentioned in a Galactic Federation channel before, what is it called? FEMA camps, right, are actually what's housing a lot of the children right now in America. And then very similar camps are housing children all over the world. Right now, I'm seeing a huge distribution of materials and resources that these organizations and these children need at this time. It's brutal, but they're still being taken out, especially of the tunnels all over the world. What else did they say? So I see everything as visuals. I want to say that the first thing that came to me, and it's still pretty awful. Let's call them the Epsteins of the world. And I'm seeing huge mansions. I'm seeing palaces. I'm seeing like the rich of the rich of the rich of the world right now. They still have a small, tight knit group of girls, mostly, who they are still abusing. And it's really interesting because they're not being kept underground. They're being kept in really nice looking mansions, and they're being like kept up. Like they look healthy, healthier than most of these children. And that's more so for like ritual abuse rather than like blood. And so these Epsteins of the world they still have their own private rings or circles or whatever. And these girls, these children, are actually feeling the energy of freedom and liberation because what's happening with the rest of the world. So they're obviously closed off from news. They're closed off from every source of information. But deep down, they have this feeling that they can escape, that they can have freedom. So they're getting more restless, more rebellious. They're finding more ways to escape. It's very interesting. And the elites that be are getting more frustrated because these children are getting more empowered and more risky in taking those measures. I just saw it all. So let's continue to pray for the children who are being released out of these tunnels, a lot of them have passed away. A lot of them have such malnutrition that they may not make it, you know. But then there's this other group of children who are still being kept and kept looking really nice. But they're still wanting to fight, but no one's there to help them yet. Because they're in these palaces, because they're in these mansions, because they are on private property, it's much more difficult to penetrate and get to. So let's give them the energy to fight. Let's give them the energy to resist. Let's give them the energy to break away. Okay. I think that was everything that I saw. That's going to continue to go on for the next year. Yeah, okay, 1 second, there's something else. Okay. So there's a connection to the children, freeing the children and quarantine. It hasn't been made super clear to me yet, but there's a connection there. And I keep getting the words that the quarantine is going to continue for at least the next 6 months, like almost even going into the first 3 months of 2021. Because they're still evacuating these tunnels, because they're still freeing these children. And what else came to me? There was something else. What else was it? Oh, yes. Okay. We need to continue to bring this up in the public. We need to continue with protesting and posting. And I mean, we all know that Save the Children or All the Children or whatever the hashtag was got banned on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I mean, they're really trying to suppress this. The reason why it's important that we all put out this information is so that more and more people wake up. Because there's a lot of people all around the world right now who are aiding and embedding, I don't know if that's what it's called, but they're basically enabling this to continue. When they start to wake up to say, oh my goodness, this is wrong, or other people are aware of this, then they can stop what they're doing as well. So it's like getting this information out there to the rest of the world, especially to the unawakened world, is going to really help awaken them. Okay, good question. Thank you, Elise. Okay, moving on, a couple more questions left. And I just want to mention, if you guys want to support me, rather than super chats or donations, which are also really nice, but if you want to support me and get tons of other content and really deep dive, then definitely sign up and be a member. That's the best way to donate to me, $10 a month, every month, and to get over 80, 90 videos of content as well that have never been released, and that content is ad free as well. So just keep that in mind, and then you can chat with me every Sunday. Okay, so let's go over to Shelly. Hi, EA and fellow light beings. What are your thoughts about the coming year as we move forward into the ascension process? Are there going to be any other global events that are moving our way that we should be prepared for? Yes, absolutely. The global events are going to continue. Things like tsunamis, tornadoes, volcano eruptions, fires, flooding, I mean, you name it, environmentally, things are going to get shaky, okay? They're going to get very shaky. Yeah, so it's really important. Okay, be prepared. That's all I'm saying. If you are not prepared and something else happens, maybe it's a solar flare, okay? That is going to leave you open to being vulnerable and to being scared. If something were to happen, even in LA, even though there's fires everywhere, right? If something were to happen right now, I would feel pretty good because I feel prepared at a physical level. My human has everything that it could possibly ever need in my tiny 800 square foot place to just camp out in, to survive in, okay? So just get prepared. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to uproot your entire life and go live off the grid for the rest of your life, which would be cool too. But just be prepared, right? For the worst and then hope for the best. And that's all we can do. So things are going to get worse. They're going to get rockier. You know, we're all going to be eye rolling saying, wow, we thought COVID was bad. Right? So don't say I didn't warn you. Doesn't mean that it has to be that way. I am holding the frequency and the vibration for our harmonious transition and, you know, a level up, right? The most graceful change from 3D to 5D that this planet has ever seen. That's what I'm hoping for, and I'm holding the frequency of that because I no longer need to be worried about, oh, if something does happen, I'm unprepared. Oh, if something does happen, I'm scared. There's none of that in me, right? So, yes. Okay, Naira Lal, new member, hi. How can we work with the Merkaba for ascension, co-creation, and self-healing? Okay, the Merkaba. So, good question. The Merkaba is a very sacred, very powerful. I have a Merkaba crystal, but it's too far away. It's on my desk right in front of me. So the Merkaba, very powerful. I don't know much about it. The only thing that I've seen with the Merkaba is when I astral travel, there's a Merkaba that spins very fast around me. And it's that Merkaba and that 4D frequency energy that actually allows me to pop in and out of different dimensions. And I see a bunch of new members. So hi guys, you're gonna love the content. Also, a reminder to members, all of the new videos, all of the new content for all of you guys is always going to be posted in the community section and then added to the members only playlists on YouTube at the bottom of my YouTube page. Okay, members only playlists and the community section is where you're going to find everything. Okay, back to the Merkaba, sorry. So the Merkaba is almost like a dimensional elevator. So if you want to visualize yourself in the Merkaba spinning really fast, then that's going to allow you to astral travel and to pop in and out of different realities and different frequencies, okay? So keep that in mind. The Merkaba can be used just like any sacred geometry for anything that you set an intention to it, right? It's like kind of like a portal or a vortex, right? Whatever intention you set, it actually elevates and expands, and there's a word that I always forget, amplifies, that's the word. It'll amplify whatever intention you have, okay? So you can just imagine a spinning Merkaba around you, okay? Okay, Emmy Starlight, how do we heal and fill up with energy from source? Great question. You said that when we use our own life force energy to heal others, it drains us. But how do you recharge from source? Great question. So when I'm doing meditation work, when I'm doing work for the planetary grid, when I'm doing work for someone else, and in the middle of a session or in the middle of the meditation, I'm feeling tired, all I do, because I'm a visualizer, I visualize a cord connecting my crown chakra to pure source energy. And I see white light coming down from pure source into the crown of my head, all throughout my body to recharge me in that moment. So if you're not a visualizer and you're not a feeler and you're like, I can't connect because I don't have the proof of connecting, which I think a lot of us get stuck in, then all you have to say is, super powerful, I choose to connect myself to pure source energy in order to recharge my vibration. That's it. Words are powerful because words are connecting to an intention. So it's not just the fact of you saying, I choose to connect myself to source so that I can recharge my power or whatever, right? It's not just saying it, it's feeling it. Be in that moment. Feel that connection to source. Ask for that connection. Ask for that revamp. We all of us need that connection. Every day I reconnect myself. Doesn't mean I get disconnected. It means I get distracted. We're human, right? Oh, shiny object over there. Oh, shiny object over there, you know? So the reconnection is so important. All you have to do is ask for it, and it's going to be there for you. And maybe in that instant, you instantly feel that connection coming through. If you're sensitive, you will feel that connection coming through. Okay, good question. All right, and our last question here, which I'm going to channel the Galactic Federation. Mariana, can you ask the Galactic Federation about December 21st and what is coming after? So December 21st in general, I believe that that's the day of the winter solstice. And I also believe that that's a huge day of vibrational opening and expansion. I personally have a deep connection to the date of December 21st because the very first time I was ever introduced to the Galactic Federation, which is so cute, back in 2011, it was December 21st, 2011, and they were, that's the meeting that I had in the middle of the moon. It was really cool. So it's a very profound date, just in general. and which is pretty cool. And yeah, so let's just ask. I know that there's been channelers out there that say the solar flare is coming on December 21st. Yeah, let's see if they do have any sort of information or messages for this year, December 21st, 2020. I feel like it's going to be huge as well. Let's just see what comes through. And before I mention that, I just want to say thank you all, especially to my members for being here and chatting with me, especially before the live video. I love chatting with you guys in the little live chat. But just in general, like, I wake up every day, even though last week I was in bed all day, every day this past week with a sore throat. I feel back to my normal self, if not better. And I just wake up with gratitude, even when I'm feeling shitty that day, even when my human comes in and my self-doubt comes in. I wake up with so much gratitude because you are all here. You're allowing me to be seen and heard, which is a huge completion from past lifetimes. The fact that I chose not to go forward with my publicist, the fact that I chose not to go forward with mainstream and TV, it's a huge relief for me that I don't have to sacrifice my energy and vibration to reach the people that I need to reach. And you are my people. You are everyone that I need to reach. There's no gearing up to fit myself into a mold. There's no sacrificing or sabotaging who I am and what my essence is. So I just want to say thank you all for standing by me, for supporting me, and just being here. Because by you being here and allowing me to be seen and heard, I'm allowing all of you to be seen and heard as well. Right? You called this in, this relationship that we've got going, you called this in for a reason. So I'm super appreciative. My goal on YouTube is to hit 100,000 subscribers for 2021. And I think we can do it. I think we can do it. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up, the like button. I see 1.4 thousand watching and I see 300 likes. I mean, what's the deal with that? Only if you like the video though. I mean, don't disempower yourself in that way. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much. I'm very excited. It's great. It's such a great time to be alive. Okay, that being said, yeah, let's tap into December 21st, 2020. Let's see what's going to be going on, if anything. Yeah, so 1 second. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, this is pretty cool, actually. I'm glad you asked. Thank you so much, Mariana, for asking. Okay. So here's obviously, okay, once again, just a reminder, everything that I channel comes to me as a visual. So I'll explain the visual. I literally asked about the the December 21st of this year, 2020, with the Galactic Federation. They gave me this visual of this huge portal opening up. And what the portal looked like was like, it looks like a tornado. It looks like an energy tornado is what this portal looks like. And then I saw all these people, very tiny, all these people stepping into the portal and ascending, which basically means taking a new vibrational frequency, ascending into 5D. And so what they explained to me is that there's going to be a huge portal opening up, and whoever wants to step into the portal is going to be able to step into the portal and ascend to 5D frequency, okay? And so that's pretty cool. And they even told me that about 25%, that's huge. Potentially 25% of the population is going to step into this portal if they're ready for it and ascend to 5D. And then they explained to me that that was a tipping point. It's a tipping point of where we can actually move into 5D globally and collectively. And because that if 25% of the population step into 5D or step into this new vibration on December 21st, That's going to allow huge shakeups in 2021, even more so than what we've seen in 2020. I guarantee that all of you sitting watching this video right now, whether it be live or afterwards, are telling yourself, I was a different person before COVID. Anyone else? There may be one of you who's like, no, I'm the same person, right? We are all different people before and after COVID. Therefore, so many people have waken up in this past year alone. I mean, imagine all of those people who have awakened and then awakening their friends and their family members and then their friends and their family members. It's a snowball effect that cannot be stopped. This cannot be stopped. And this amplifying portal that we're going to be stepping into in December 21st, 2020, is going to amplify the rest of that 5D energy to another 25% of the world, which is going to tip the scales over and demolish and collapse the rest of the old vibrational frequency that has been on this planet. Completely collapsing that vibrational frequency because it no longer adheres to the main vibration of this planet. One candle in a room full of darkness is going to light up 75% of that room. 25% of the world stepping into 5D is going to transmute the rest of the world. The light is that powerful, right? So there's going to be a huge shift as far as globally, environmentally, economically. I don't know. They didn't mention. They're talking about high level stuff, right? So set your intentions for December 21st, 2020. Ask yourself what life you want to live. Ask yourself what reality you want to be in moving forward. Okay? And other than that, once again, guys, if you want to see a good example of why the wildfires in California are going right now, check out the link in my description. I just came across it this morning. I think it's very interesting that there's this giant beam of heat that is being centered right into the fires of California. Just saying, it's a 30-second link. Just click it, open your mind, and send love, right? I mean, the powers that be, the New World Order, they're still trying as much as they can to mess with us, to bring us into fear, to take us down. They're going to try until they're taken off. And they may not be taken off for another couple years, all right? But this is lifetimes of them being in power. They're not going to let it go that easily. But we're not going to let go of our awakening that easily either. Once you step through that door, there is no stepping back out of it in the most beautiful way possible. So check out that link. And then also, if you want to see me channeling the Galactic Federation, also check out the link below to get your ticket for the recording. Just $11 for the ticket. It's a no-brainer. It was incredible. And last thing I want to mention is this video will only be up for 24 hours for the public. After 24 hours, it's going to be members only. And then tomorrow, I have an epic download that is going to help all of you transcend and move through your deepest soul trauma. So I will see you all tomorrow at 2:55 or 5:55 or 1:55 or whatever for another epic live video. I love you all so much. Thank you, members. Thank you, everyone else, for being here. Thank you for all the super chats, the donations. You guys are fantastic. Sending you so much love on this incredible Sunday. Bye for now.